Well, welcome to the Stone Roadie podcast. It's the one you don't want to miss. It stars Craig Reed, the Stone Roadie, and Griff, the rocket scientist. Let's not forget Kathy Godsey and all the old friends that come along. Lord, we'll be talking Skynyrd and leaving you with a song.
Stone Roadie Show, podcast 247. Wake and Bake the Morning Buzz, 122. Where's my doggone clicker? Oh, action. Alrighty then, fellow earthlings and slaves. Looky here. My name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie. Sometimes I call myself the world's most famous roadie since in the dawn of time since dinosaurs roamed the earth, but I won't do that today. And with me today is my co-host and the co-pilot and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So what are we going to talk about today here on Friday morning? And it's November the 15th, 2024. And today's the day Mike Tyson fights that guy. What's his name? Jake Paul?
Jake Paul, yeah. That's going to be a good one there.
I predict Tyson is going to knock him out before the 5th round.
Yeah, I would agree with that probably. Tyson looks just as good as he's ever looked, man. I wouldn't mess with him.
I surprised myself. He goes, when I accepted this fight, I said, "What are you doing, old man? Are you crazy?" And he said, "No, I surprised myself." And my buddy come over here today, and we was talking about it. He goes, "Yeah, I ran into Mike Tyson's sparring partners up in he's a motorcycle guy, you know." He says, "I went into a bar and was throwing around a bunch of racial slurs, and they took me outside and beat my ass."
I tell you what,
I deserved it.
There's always that one friend that you have who gets drunk and starts running his mouth.
That's what he said. I was drunk and went in those places, started throwing about a bunch of racial slurs, and boy, they took me outside and showed me what for.
Yeah, you got to always help your friend out when they get drunk and then they get in trouble, and you got to go help them fight the guy. Just kind of like Ronnie always told you to have a friend. How many times
it was never black guys, though. It was always white guys.
How many times you suspect
Ronnie wasn't a racist, you know.
No, right. How many times you suspect Ronnie asked you, "Do I have a friend?"
Oh, it was at least a half a dozen.
Yeah?
About at least a half a dozen, yeah.
Did you ever go down and you guys got your ass beat, or was it?
No, we never did. No, we never did.
Oh, yeah? So what? Do you remember all of them, or just vaguely?
Actually, I don't really remember ever getting in a fight when he would come up and get me, and we would go down there, and he would, like I said, that one time he grabbed a bottle and he was putting in a demonstration what he was going to do to them, and he did it to me right in front of them. He said, "I'd cut that motherfucker," and he broke that bottle on the table and then put the bottle up to my neck, and I could feel it right there.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
And that's what he was using you as the demonstration for what he was
do? I was the demo, yeah.
And it scared the hell out of him. Well, I guess he did.
Yeah, I'm glad he had good reflexes, even when he was drunk. That was a pretty close one.
Good God. So you were
a friend. He was good at breaking them bottles and using them for weapons, man. I don't know. He had a knack at it. That's what he did when he cut Gary up, broke that bottle.
So he was all about breaking the bottle and using it as a weapon.
I guess. Yeah, I've seen him do it a couple times. Yeah.
A whiskey bottle?
Beer bottles.
Beer bottles?
Mm-hmm. Beer bottles, yeah. Them brown beer bottles.
Well, that'll work.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, there was a couple people have been asking me about Joe Barnes, more Joe Barnes. So I dug out the video interview that I did with him at Gary's celebration of life at Whitey's, and so I'm gonna put it on the end of this. Some people may not have seen it, and and I remember old Joe showing me his bite mark where Ronnie bit him on the stomach. He pulled his shirt up. You see that right there? And I said, "Oh, wow." He wouldn't let me ask him any questions about that uh, in the interview about Ronnie trying to throw him off the plane. Uh, but yeah, this guy here, Joe Barnes, he was the original roadie, right, Craig? Original roadie, and
Yeah, he dang sure was. Yeah, him and Kevin Elson. Well, actually, uh, Dean Kilpatrick, before when they were just playing clubs, shit, they couldn't afford a damn roadie. They didn't have any money themselves. And Dean didn't really need any money. His parents had money. He was just hanging around just to be hanging around. But he was kind of a roadie, and I guess Kevin kind of helped. And I guess the band were like their own roadies. I don't know. But, somebody asked us the other day about Ken Lyons when he was with 38.
yeah,
I don't even remember him being with 38, but somebody sent me an article about him.
yeah,
And, yeah, him and Don Barnes started 38.
right,
And
yeah.
but like I said, in 1974, he wasn't with 38. When I started with Skynyrd, he wasn't with 38. He was
Yeah,
with
Joe mentioned something in the comments here about it,
yeah.
straightening it out. Yeah, Joe told me that he was in 38. I just didn't hear it. I was
I
talking on
guess
the
he
phone.
started 38 with Don Barnes.
Yeah, in the first album. The
Yeah,
first album's
I
got
didn't
Ken
know.
Lyons on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some fact checkers that they straighten us out in that. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't. I guess I should have known, but yeah, can't know everything.
God, I don't remember who was in when I got with Skinner. Shit, I barely knew who was in Skinner, let alone 38. When I first went to the Hell's House and started working, staying at the Hell House. Hell, I didn't know who Joe Crimp or Randall Hall or any of the history or
Right. Yeah.
none of the. I didn't know none of those guys. I just knew the Skinner guys and. Those guys just hung around. Hell, 38 wasn't nothing back then. Skynyrd wasn't nothing back then. And
Yeah,
shit,
you didn't know that
38 never would have been nothing if it wasn't have been for Skynyrd or the
Yeah.
Outlaws or Blackfoot or Molly Hatchet or none of
Yeah,
them. And,
that's right.
I mean, you got to
And
get your foot in the damn door. I mean, it was hard for Skinner to get their foot in the door. Those guys would have never got their foot in the door.
and that's why Slowpoke was going to be, pretty much a household name. I think if Skinner would have kept playing because they were pushing them.
There's a lot of damn good music. I got a lot of buddies that are really good musicians, but they got jobs.
Yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah.
can't make a living playing in the Moose Lodge there on the weekends. I mean, and they're good musicians, man. You just, if you ain't got a product out there, you can't make no money.
Yeah, not everybody can be an overnight success like Oliver Anthony with that Richmond, North of Richmond song. He did, I mean, he did, boom, that thing just,
Yeah,
people wanted to hear that, they just wanted to hear it. And he
he was
told all the
different.
labels, yeah, he told all the labels, no, I don't need a label.
He was
So,
different. Yeah, but
yeah, and like Taylor Swift, they buttered her all into that whole thing.
well, I saw her. I not that I did the when I worked up there at Blossom. Brad Pitt, Brad Paisley. She opened up for Brad Paisley, and she was just a kid, man. She had
Oh
a
yeah,
couple of little girls with her. Yeah, she was just a kid. No, I never expected she'd ever be what she is now. But yeah, she was just a kid running around in the backstage, hee 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 and everything. Yeah, yeah, I seen her running
And
around.
little did you know she was going to be a billionaire.
Yeah, that's what never would have known. She was on that Brad Paisley tour. And I didn't even watch her. I didn't pay no attention to her. She was just a young kid.
Yeah, before we got on here, and I was telling Craig how I was down in Sebastian Beach Inn in Sebastian, Florida. I think it was back in the damn early 90s. And Brett Michaels was in there. And the owner, I was down there doing some work. I used to do some carpet work, flooring work, and I was down there putting up a rug so that, like, hanging this rug so it would muffle the sound because they were right near a neighborhood there and they were trying to block the sound. And so the owner took me over and introduced me, was going to introduce me to him. I was like, "Oh, I know you. Yeah, you're in the Motley Crue." It pissed him off. And then he realized that I was serious. I wasn't just funning around. And then he was pretty nice. And then you mentioned now you knew old Brett Michaels. And he was
Yeah,
a
I've
pretty cool
I've
guy.
I've had about 10 run-ins with with Brett Michaels. Yeah, he's a real nice guy, man. Real nice
Yeah,
guy.
he was pretty cool guy. Yeah.
I met him. First time I met him was with Scotty Ross. I went to a Poison show, and Scotty's still a good friend of mine from the Journey days. And Scotty was their tour manager. And I went to an after show party with the backstage with all them get back there, all the women. God, there was a lot of women backstage that night. Gee, many
Oh yeah.
groupies, yeah.
Yeah, you were there when they had that Tom Kiefer, Peter Frampton, Zach Weil, and all those.
Oh yeah, yeah, all those. Yeah, they
The
all
one
did
at
kind of tributes to the Skinner stuff.
yeah,
When Gary and Alan stuff. Yeah, they had one at the Universal Amphitheater, and then you mentioned one at the Fox, and I forgot all about
right,
that.
yeah. Donnie was there. Donnie
Yeah.
Van Zant was at that one. Yeah, you know, eh, I mean, those guys, Travis Tritt, I think he was there too. But
I don't remember Travis. I don't remember him. I hung around
yeah,
with Travis quite a bit.
that was a lot of stuff to try to remember. So let me see. Yesterday was Kurt Custer's birthday. Happy birthday, Kurt
Yeah,
Custer.
happy birthday, Kurt.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast, and he was a great guest and great man. That guy's got a lot of time with the Skynyrd
Wonder
band.
if he still got that pickup truck he bought
Oh, I'm sure.
when
Yeah,
he was down in Jacksonville when he was with just got with
yeah. I
Skinner.
think I saw it on Facebook, and
Yeah,
I used to have one just like it.
yeah, it was what are they? Was
It was a
C10? Is that
Chevy.
what that is?
It was a Chevy. I think it was
Yeah,
like a
set like a 70.
Silverado or something.
Yeah, it was like a late '60s, early '70s
It was
model,
a '70s model. Yeah,
'73 or something like that. Was it?
I think
Ain't
it was
those,
like a '74, '75. Maybe no,
aren't
it was
those
a
a
'76.
C10? Ain't that what they call those? A C10?
No, the C10s are the later models, I believe, a smaller engine. But yeah, those I had a GMC like that, but they were all the same. They had that hood on it. When you go to close the hood, if the hinges started drying out, it would buckle the hood. You had to keep the you had to keep the hinges lubed up, or you'd buckle your hood trying to
Oh, I
close
never
it.
heard of such a
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. There's some people on here that have experienced that. I guarantee you that.
I never heard of such a thing.
Oh yeah.
If your engine wasn't greased, it buckle
No,
your
no,
hood.
the hinges.
Hinge. Oh, the hinges. Oh, no, you get hinges. Okay.
Yeah. The hinges. The
Hinge.
hinges
I
to
thought
the
you said
hood.
engine. The hinges.
Yeah, the hinges. It
That's a
would
whole
buckle.
different thing.
I used to work at a gas station, and I know this kid that worked there, and he buckled about three of them, pissed the people off.
Yeah,
I said,
those
man,
The Volkswagen Beetles, the hood on those was real easy to do
yeah,
that
you had to
to.
walk it down. You
Yeah,
had to,
yeah,
you had
those
to
those
walk it down.
Beetles, man. If you pulled down on that hood real good, you'd crease that sucker too.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
pretty shitty design.
Yeah.
That damn the hood's weighed like a
Oh,
500.
they're flimsy too, man. Yeah, if you come down that thing, yeah, you'd bend that sucker. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to paint a truck one time that had that, and I took it down and had it blasted, and he used too much pressure on it, and he just warped the shit out of it with that sandblaster and ruined it. And I
Yeah.
paid like $100 for that hood out of the junkyard. Yeah. Oh, we got some pretty interesting comments here, but first off, yeah, I wanted to mention that Brian Bodkin has actually sent me a tape, and it's got he's been trying to edit it. It's an original Jimmy Johnson. I guess Brian interviewed him, and he talks about the time Ronnie got pissed off at him because that recording on that tape was backwards. And this is an interview that's never been seen that Brian did with the guy, and he's got it in the mail to me. So maybe the first of the week, maybe middle of next week or something, I can put that Jimmy Johnson interview. It's like 35 minutes long or something. That was pretty nice of Brian to send. He's the guy who donated the book that we just recently sold. So
Yeah.
yeah, old Brian got that, been promising me that interview, and he finally put it in the mail. So that's something cool to look forward to. And don't forget to stick around at the end here for the Joe Barnes interview that I'm sure a lot of you have already seen, but maybe some of you haven't. What else we got here? Well, that's you say you got a donation or something, didn't you, Craig? Got another
Yeah.
donation?
Yeah, got a couple of donations. Let me see here. Oh, I don't have it written on there. We got a big donation. Anita
Oh yeah,
Talent.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Nita.
yeah, Anita Talent. Yeah, she sent this to you actually, and you
Right?
sent the
Yeah.
check up to me. I guess she's a friend of yours. Donated $1,000 to the general fund. So yeah,
Yeah, appreciate that, Anita. She's
that's two
her
that's two
her
hundred bucks a piece for everybody. Yeah, so that's
yeah,
cool.
her dad was like a World War II flying fortress pilot, I believe it was. And man, I met her probably 6, 7 years ago. I mean, I've never actually met her. I mean, I've talked to her on the phone, but real nice, a nice lady. Yeah, appreciate that, Anita. And she's real proud of her dad. Around Veterans Day, she always puts pictures up of her dad. And when he was on. Remember when you and I were going to go on the Flying Fortress, Craig? I was going to come up and see you, and we were supposed to go to the air show, right? And I couldn't make it because John Neal was going to come up at the same time, and he had to postpone it. So we couldn't go to the air show. Well, good thing, because that same damn Flying Fortress crashed up in New York or New Jersey or something. Remember that? We were going to go on that damn plane, and it crashed. I was like, damn, thank you, John Neal, for canceling that. I would have been Craig's second plane crash.
Yeah, she's got a longer name. I forget Anna
Oh, and Anita Van Fleet. Yeah,
Nita Van Fleet. Yeah,
yeah. Kind of like Greta Van Fleet, but
Talent.
Nita.
Yeah,
That's
she's got a
talent.
real long name. So on her ID on the envelope, she just said Anita Talent. So I just put on the check. You got this real big name.
Yeah, that's a great donation, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be a good ad. And then somebody else donated something too, didn't they, Craig?
Yeah. Let me see here. Uh, yeah, let me see. Sorry, Joe Beachy,
Bianchi?
Bianchi. Yeah, donated $100. And yeah, Joe lives up here in Pittsburgh, and shit, that's only about 3 hours from me. And
Cool.
yeah,
Thanks,
he's
Joe.
got
That's great.
yeah, that's a donation for everybody. He's got hot metal cycles. He's got there in Pittsburgh, his
Yeah,
motorcycle.
what does he sell motorcycles, or they will fix them, or
Hot
service
metal
parts and
cycles on,
accessories?
yeah, service parts, accessories for Harley Davidson motorcycles there in Pittsburgh. So let me show the other side of the card there.
Yeah, and those Harleys, they do love to break. I've had a bunch of them.
So
They'll
there's,
break just sitting in the garage. You go out there and you didn't even ride it, and you go to start it and it's broke.
you can read
But
that.
but they're great bikes, man. I love to ride a Harley. Not anymore, but I used to. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Great, man. He,
Yeah.
that vest probably wouldn't have fit him or something, or he probably would have got it because that would be a good
Oh
biker
yeah,
vest.
man, that's yeah, and that's a small. Yeah, you hardly see a woman on the back of a Harley anymore that wears a small. They're usually.
I wouldn't let them on the back of my bike unless they fit in between here like that. That was the ass gauge that you gauge the woman to ride on the back of your bike.
How'd you like to have an extra 250 pounds sitting on the back
Oh
of
yeah,
your
that's
bike?
I see it
God,
all the
that's
time, man.
you get if you lose your balance just a little bit, boy, over you'd go, boy.
I sent you that big fat guy on Facebook riding that Harley, right? That man, that guy weighs at least 800 pounds. That has to be. And he's riding that Harley. If he were to fall off that thing doing 70, it looked like a slaughterhouse or something. He'd have road rash on his road rash. Any more donations there, Craig?
No, that's it for this
All right. Well, we'll jump into these
this go
comments
around.
because we got the
That was a pretty good one though. We got $1,100 out of that one.
no, that was good. You can't beat that at all. No.
No, that's $220 a piece for everybody.
Yeah. So appreciate that, Joe and Anita.
And
Oh,
who is that? Yeah, the guy that bought the book, Bruce Fancher. Yeah,
yeah.
he lives out there in Colorado. He hasn't sent the check yet. He goes, man, I'm sorry. He said I'm snowed in out here in Colorado.
That's crazy,
And
man.
I talked to cousin Figel, and he said, yeah, it's snowed out there a couple times already, and that's in New Mexico.
I guess it's better than getting your house washed away in the
And
mountains.
yeah, that makes me sick, man. I commented one time before that there was 10,000 people that were dead down there, and somebody said I was full of shit. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, buddy, you're freaking full of shit. That's what's
It's
going on
true.
there absolutely a crime. There's 10,000 people dead at
What
least, and
what you
there's
said
another
was there
10,000 people that are displaced down there, and there's some shitty stuff happening, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, what you said was that there were 10,000 body bags.
Well, there are
I
10,000
think
bodies.
there's more than that now. There's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of people still missing. It's not good, and they're not getting any help, and it's all kinds of chaotic stuff going up there. Bureaucratic, chaotic.
Well, they buried, and they said Rothschilds. They said the name Rothschilds buried a bunch of nuclear waste in those mountains back in the 40s. They
Yeah,
buried a bunch of nuclear waste up there, and all that rain dislodged all that stuff. And one woman finally got her water turned on and got in the shower and burned all her damn skin off. It was chemical burns, and there's people trying to rescue people up there, and the mud is toxic. The mud is eating their boots. I mean,
Yeah.
it's and they're offering housing to people in Arizona and shit because it's warmer out there. But those people, those are hill people, man. They want to go back to their property, and they're trying to get as many of them people out of there as they can. They're trying to steal their damn land.
They are. That's
Freaking
eminent
bullshit,
domain.
you know?
Yeah, they're changing the floodplain now. They've changed the floodplain, and they're taking their land.
And
they're
they've
just
taken
buying them out.
kids. They've taken their kids, and the media is covering this all up. This is bullshit. You know.
Well, it's alleged.
And I hate to use the word stupid because I got brain damage. And I hate to use the word stupid for any of you stupid bastards that were voting for that whore to get into office. But there's no other word I can think of that explain you stupid bastards except you're freaking stupid. My God, open your freaking eyes, you fat bastards. My God.
I don't think they're done yet, Craig. He ain't. I'm
not
going to be happy.
Going on in Michigan, man. There's some stinky shit going on, and these Biden. All I hear is that damn lesbian woman up there they're his press secretary going. Biden, he's saying that we want a smooth transition. That just tells me that there's some shit gonna happen.
Yeah,
and we'll see. We'll see who's right or wrong here in the next few weeks.
It's too quiet.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've been smelling a rat. Yeah. All right, let's jump into the comments because we still got that on the road there at the end. So we're going to be 2 hours on here probably. Let me see.
And look at that fat bastard there. Look at that stupid.
Who's that with you there, Craig? Who's the lady?
That was one of my exes. That was it,
you blocking her? Is that the one who stole the dog or?
No. No. I think this is at my stepdaughter's wedding. Christmas.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
That's what that was.
Well, you were happy. I could tell you were happy.
I was drunk.
Yeah, there's a lot of people cracking on you, Craig, for that last guy chewing your ass in the comments. Yeah. Big Cornbread said SMDH means shake my damn head. I didn't know what that meant. I
thought about that today. I thought I was doing something and I said, I don't know what that means, and I'm a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant.
Shake my damn head.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant. Shit, man, I'm not one of these kind of text guys. They put all that in. These kids use that in the texts. I guess you're supposed to figure that out. Then Jeff says, you need to install a drive-by prize pickup box at your house. Yeah, so you just put.
I got all the boxes labeled. I just don't have them loaded yet.
Well, damn! If you got them labeled.
Well, I think I got them all. Anyways, I don't know.
And then Jeff says, just shove that shit in a Pringles can and slap some postage on it and be done with it already.
It won't all fit. When I decided to send out those kazoos to everybody, that took it from an envelope size. No, that took it from an envelope to a box. Yeah,
because it could get broken.
Yeah, no. When I threw in the kazoo, that took it from an envelope to a box. Literally.
Well, that just gave you the ability to put more shit in it now. So
yeah. But yeah, that's what happened. I could have put all those pictures and stuff in an envelope, and yeah, the kazoo put it in a box.
And then Susan McMaster says her old boss said she wouldn't hire a perfectionist. They never get anything done. They're waiting until it's perfect, and it's never going to happen.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, she knows.
Oh, hell. Well, let me see if there's any other comments on that. There's a couple on there. Carol, the cake girl, the guy that's mad about not getting his stuff. Is it about watching the podcast, or is it about the stuff that you're winning on the podcast? So, I mean, the guy, it's been 10
Oh,
months. So
he's got a legitimate bitch. I said I was gonna send everything out, but it is just a bunch of shit, really. I mean, except for that coin that it's that was on the airplane. All the rest of it's just, you know, just stuff. It's just stuff.
yeah.
You
Then we
know.
got
You'll
a
get it. You'll
Skinner.
get it. You'll get it by Christmas. I promise.
You,
You'll get it
I
by
wouldn't make any promises. Then we got a
you know what? It took the whole thing into something that you'll never forget the rest of your life, and
yeah.
everything in there you'll go. I waited for this goddamn thing for 10 months. And finally, I got it.
Wow, 10 months has passed now. It's going on 11.
Well, whatever.
You might as well call it a year.
I waited a year, whatever.
Might as well round it up
That's
to a
right.
year. As a matter of fact, you ought to just wait another couple months so you can say it's a year. Well, we got a Skynyrd comment. Joseph Yima says he thinks Ronnie would have gone solo and wrote hits for himself and other folks.
I believe that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe he'd have got sick of the bullshit that was going on and just said, "Screw it, I'll just
yeah.
hire some guys and alleviate all this freaking bullshit." Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think he
mean,
would. I think he would have loved to try to done some with Merle, and it probably might have even really happened. You
oh,
know.
I could see him singing with some country
But
singers for sure.
Him and Steve were pretty locked together. So they. And they were right in the same kind of format for music, and in my opinion, they were right in the same groove. So
That's just like, John Lennon, man. Just think of the music that didn't get written because he got killed. It's the same caliber that, Ronnie, he was such a great writer. And there's hits that we're not able to listen to on the radio to tap our foot to because that plane crash, and it's just nothing we can do about it. It's sad.
did Dave the Disciple send you a picture of Mark Howard with the Clear Light shirt on there?
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's also going to start handling the
Yeah,
Stone Roadie shirts.
yeah, the Stone Roadie shirts. That'd be cool. Yeah, take me. Yeah, just he's gonna handle the money and everything.
Yeah, so we'll let you
That's
know
great.
whenever Dave the Disciple gets set up for all that stuff, and I guess maybe he can start doing stickers and all kinds of stuff like that if it makes money for the survivors and you guys feel like purchasing it. It's a
He
win-win.
seems to be very creative. It's hard to tell
Yeah.
what that guy will come up with. He's came up with a lot of cool shit for me.
He's probably been wanting to
He's
do
really
that, but
creative.
we didn't want to ask him. We didn't want to feel like, we're imposing on him, but he'd probably been wanting to do it
I never
anyway.
even thought about anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He,
people have
me,
been want me to make T-shirts and stuff, and I just said, if the demand gets strong enough, I'll start making them. But
Yeah, pretty soon I'll have some pipes ready again when it
And
starts
I didn't
cooling
really know
off.
what design to use. It's kind of,
Well, you already got that one Stone Roadie
Yeah,
shirt.
there's a couple different designs. Yeah.
I'll have to get in my closet and find that one, and next time we come on, I think I still have it. You had them. You had them at the Polk Theater down there. It's the Stone Roadie shirts that you had, those black ones.
Yeah, I had a few of those left over. Yeah. Those are all gone, I think. I might have a few of them. God, I don't know
Well,
where.
you just got to show that to Dave. Maybe he can use that as a template. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Becky Nickham. Fuck that guy. You can give you can give me his prize. You give his prize to me. He says Craig can wait until he's good and ready. He says the pile. She says the pile keeps getting bigger. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of people.
everybody's gonna get a lot more than they were. All anybody was ever supposed to get was every week we gave away a coin, and then we started adding a picture or a kazoo or something. But
Well, you got it all written down what they're supposed to get, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think I just said, hell with it. I'll just give everybody everything. Just the wooden nickels and the Stone Roadie on heroin and the cheating charts and there's a bunch of stuff.
Stickers, the
Stickers,
coin,
there's
of
a
course, the
bunch.
coin.
Yeah, there's only like 15, so it ain't a whole bunch. There's only like 15 people getting stuff.
Oh, is that all it was? Oh, hell.
Yeah, it's only about 15 people that are getting stuff.
Then old Joe Schmo, he's talking about remember I was telling you about Peter Frampton crashed his car in the Bahamas, and I was trying to figure out what he crashed into. It was a famous place. It was James movie in James Bond house that they used, I guess, that Shark Tank that they had there. One of the James Bond's movies. It was a house that they used that had a pool in it full of sharks. So that's what Joe Schmo is telling me. Yeah, thanks for that. I was trying to remember what that was.
Peter ran into the Shark Tank, the
Yeah,
shark
he
pool.
ran and
Well, if you're gonna run into one, pick something good.
ran into 007's Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's a good one to hit if you're gonna hit one.
Oh, and you were talking about they were asking you about where Gary learned how to do the bird chirp on the
He
guitar.
did that himself. He bragged about he bragged about that before to me because I come up with all that myself.
Well, this guy here says he stole it from Dwayne Allman.
I don't know.
Yeah, because Dwayne used to at the end of Layla, if you listen to the end
He
of
used two
Layla,
G. He used two G strings and put a wire in the neck and then put the bottle between the two G strings. I don't think to get that harmonic. I don't think he did that. I don't
well,
know. I'm not a guitar player.
he explained how he did it in here. He says he set the guitar on the bridge pickup, and then the slide went all the way past the neck, and he played between both pickups, I guess, to make that chirp noise or however. Dwayne probably did it a different way. Maybe Ronnie heard that and said, "Oh, maybe I can make a bird noise." But yeah, who knows? But I did listen to that Layla, and at the end, there's some chirping going on in that Layla. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can see where he got that from.
Huh.
Yeah. Patriot says, Craig, you got that hernia from lifting those Mace amps. They weigh a shit ton.
Yeah, I was from setting up Billy's piano, probably.
Yeah. When did you get the hernia? What year was the hernia?
Uh,
Were you with
geez.
Skynyrd or after Skynyrd?
Um, God, I have to think about that. That was 88, 89, 90, somewhere in there. 90.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
during the tribute band.
somewhere, yeah. Yeah. I just fixed my wire. That's what it is. I moved that wire around with my foot and there's a short in it. That's why this headset goes out.
Oh, is it working now?
Yeah. I was trying to fix it before we went on, but yeah.
This one person says here, I don't know if I should read this or not, says Plastidils were 500 and 700 milligram. They were anal suppositories meant for cancer patients. Don't tell Craig that shit. Craig will be shoving everything in his ass.
Oh God.
Is that? I guess
No,
that could be true, man. I guess they
I
were
never
gel
shoved nothing
caplets.
up my butt.
Oh
Never
yeah,
did
that's
no suppositories or what.
well. You had a colonoscopy.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever had a entry in the rear.
Oh, well, that's good. Unless you were passed out and you didn't know it.
Oh, I know. I had a couple of what are they looking for when they stick their finger up your butt? They're checking for your prostate. Yeah,
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
yeah.
Well, they
But
might
I
have.
have a female doctor, so I didn't feel like I was being violated.
Did she ever tell you that she needed to use two fingers for a second opinion?
Oh yeah, yeah. She said you got a tight butt.
Did she really?
No.
Because I've had a lot of female doctors and they don't like doing that. They just don't want to do that. They would rather you die of cancer than them have to do that. I always make them. I always say, hey, you need to check my prostate.
Yeah, my new doctor, she never has stuck her finger up my butt. I wouldn't mind it because she's really good looking. I do. I got a really good looking doctor.
Well, you also had that dental hygienist that was pretty attractive too. Remember her?
Yeah. I don't have her any. Well, I had her a couple times, but now I've had another one the last couple of times. I just went last week. Something.
This guy, Ronnie asks, in that song by Grand Funk Railroad, Sweet Sweet Connie, the gal that made plaster casts of famous people's penises, did she ever do any of the Lynyrd Skynyrd's band's penises? What?
I don't know.
Plaster cast of Sweet Connie used to make a plaster cast of penises?
I never heard that.
Famous
No.
people? Ronnie, man, you smoking something or what? Send us some more information on that. Maybe it's real.
I
You
never.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't.
John says the Amish in Pennsylvania came through at the voting booth and made it happen. That might be why they won in Pennsylvania. Those Amish might have kicked in, man.
Yeah.
They didn't want them, they didn't want to get their land stolen. And then Joe Crimp came on the comments to straighten out. It probably pissed him off about hearing how, we didn't know what we were talking about. He said, Ken Lyons was in Running Easy, then in 38 Special, and played on the first album. So I imagine he died sometime after that.
See, I didn't know he played on the first album. I didn't think he was with them in there. I don't know. I thought he was with Running Easy in the early days. I don't know.
Yeah,
when he was out at the Hell House in 1974, when I was first with him, he
started with Running
because
Easy.
38 Special hadn't even done a record then.
Yeah. So that's who he went to play with after Crimp's band. 38, and then he didn't last long. I think Joe I think he got fired. Joe said he was kind of irresponsible. You know, he was always like, if he had a
I'd heard that
girlfriend,
about it.
he wouldn't show up to the practice. You know, if he had a girlfriend or something. Yeah, they said he was a nice guy. He's just kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. I was only around him a few times. So.
And Brian Gibbons said all these hoes are shaving their heads and claim they won't have sex for years with men now. Trump is already turning them into honest women. Yeah, I guess they blame the men for Trump, and so they're getting back at us by not. Well, they've stopped doing that a long time ago.
Yeah, all these women are getting their heads shaved, and they're talking about us being in a cult. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Oh, in a cult, I'm gonna go shave my head. They're sick. I mean, yeah, just like I said, I can't think of a better word to use for them than stupid.
I'm not going to be happy until I see Mr. Trump, Mr. T, sworn in. That's when I'll be happy.
It's going to take a long time to these. That if just a few companies own everything. I mean, they control the world. The Vatican. I mean, all that's going to be hard to dismember.
There's a lot of people.
It's been going on for centuries. You're not going to dismember it in 4 years.
Yeah, they're talking about, Trump changing the entire, getting rid of corruption and everything. Somebody's not gonna like that, man.
And this child stuff, I never even could imagine this is as drastic as it is. So this trafficking stuff, and the women too.
It's coming out, starting to come out. So
it's, I mean,
and I think
the black people want to act like they're the only slaves. We're all slaves. I mean, realistically,
at one point
every one of us is a damn slave to the system. I mean, I can't think of another better way to describe what we are to them. I mean, Biden said you're garbage.
We're useless eaters.
I mean, that's all you do is pay. Why do you pay taxes? We shouldn't have to. Who died and made you the damn boss? God, we're all supposed to be equal, and that's not.
Well, you pay taxes on you pay taxes on your paycheck, and then everything you buy, you pay taxes.
That Rothschild shit ain't no better than my shit.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be from the Rothschild.
They're actually lizard people, Craig.
Yeah, they're the Anunnaki. That's that damn Pope that somebody made the Pope the ruler of this. Everything. Long time ago, John Paul or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, all those popes, man. Well, I don't know if it was the popes, but all those, they get caught molesting the children.
That Vatican is a lot more than people think it is.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing holy about that damn place.
But we could go down the deep rabbit hole, but, we don't want to get thrown off the channel here. As a matter of fact, everything that we've said is alleged. And this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, it's just
that's all the comments and questions too, Craig. So we ought to go ahead and wrap it up, and then we can go into this. You guys stick around for this Joe Barnes. If you haven't seen the Joe Barnes, if you've already seen the Joe Barnes at Whitey's, then if you want to watch it again, but if you haven't seen it, I dug it out for you and put it on the end here so you guys, and then. Yeah, you guys can see it. So,
all right. I guess that's the end of podcast 247. Wake and Bake, the Morning Buzz. This is episode number 112. 21, and see you later, alligator at the Wild Crocodile. And, oh, wait a minute, where's that button? We'll just call that a wrap, and we're out of here. Cut.
Okay, here we have Joe Barnes. Now, if you guys, I don't know, you guys remember Joe Barnes was at the Polk Theater. I invited him to come out, and he was up on stage with Craig Reed and Gene Odom, and he was answering questions. And now this is a guy right here that a lot of people have kind of been wanting to talk to and see in person, because this is an original roadie for Lynyrd Skynyrd before Craig Reed. And now this guy, actually, Joe, you knew Lynyrd Skynyrd before they even were named Lynyrd Skynyrd, right? When they were still basically 1%, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And how was it that you came to know Ronnie Van Zant and Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Part of it was just being a part of the music community. I played guitar, and I was trying with a couple different garage bands, and I'll confess, I realize now I wasn't good enough, but I was trying. We were all trying back then, okay? But still, I was part of the music community. And one thing that I was able to do, with my equipment and stuff, I could make things work. I could fix things. And that's what I did. And I started helping other people out.
And one of the things I know that you did that you told me about was the way that you did the chords that were actually used. And you were even the guy who, whenever Skynyrd was playing on that stage, Nebworth with the Rolling Stones, you're the guy who rigged all those chords up before they went out on stage out there and everything, and that was your chords, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I walked out to the end and measured them. And
Leon's wasn't quite long enough, right? I mean, he
okay. I had a brand new roll of guitar cable. The Belden guitar cable that I used. It was heavy duty, 1/4 inch thick, 2-conductor shielded cable. I mean, it was high quality guitar cable. And I used every foot for those 3 cables for Alan, Gary, and Steve. Okay? And I was not gonna have some gaff tape rigged up, spliced or anything that could foul up, for Leon, And I'm embarrassed to this day. I didn't find some way to do something for him, but that's what happened.
Well,
the other guys got out, and that's an iconic moment. All 4 of them out there.
I think you did pretty good.
On Mick Jagger's tongue, Lynyrd Skynyrd dancing on Jagger's tongue.
And this is the guy right here that actually set all those chords up for Lynyrd Skynyrd out on the tongue.
I knew it was going to happen.
So you knew they weren't supposed to go out there, but they did anyway, and you were prepared for it.
Well, it wasn't that they weren't supposed to go out there. It was there. They were going to go out.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
So working with Lynyrd Skynyrd and being a roadie for those guys in the early days, that had to really be, I mean, did you expect those guys to end up becoming so big and famous?
Look, it started for me when I helped them out for a show they did. It was like at the Cedar Hills Armory in July, at 1st of July, okay? And I lent him some equipment, a guitar amp that Billy used for his piano, some PA stuff. And, after the show, I was packing stuff up, okay? And Ronnie came by to say thanks. He's pretty gracious about stuff like that. And I said, hey, Ronnie, you need someone to go on the road, why don't you give me a call? And he said, yeah, man. He was friendly, right? 2 weeks later, I got a call. I mean...
So the next thing you know, you were on tour with them, huh?
Well, on tour meant that Kevin and Bob or Billy and I were in the front seat of the truck, old blue, and the rest of the guys, 3 in the front seat and 3 in the back seat of an old Cadillac sedan.
Wow.
And we traveled together in case one of them broke down. Every now and then one did, so that was the way.
And you were with the guys when they met Craig Reed, right? You were with them in Ohio when they met.
That was after the Who tour. That he was at the hotel, showed up or something.
And here we have Chad.
Photobomb.
So, do you remember the first time you laid eyes on Craig? What were your thoughts about him? What is this guy here doing?
Hey, I didn't care. I just met him. I didn't know what was going to happen.
He had some weed, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I like to smoke pot. I'm legal. I have a card.
Well, back then, nobody was legal, but we still like to smoke pot.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Right.
I'm legal.
Well, I tell you what a great honor to have Joe Barnes sitting here. I mean, this is Lynyrd Skynyrd royalty right here.
I
This
didn't realize
guy.
how famous I was.
Did you did you have a lot to do with amplifiers and things like that back then?
I made things work. And mainly it was, first of all, having high quality cables.
Yeah, that was important.
Simply having, good solder connections that weren't shorting out, with high quality ends that weren't going to break off, because back then, you go to a music store and you want to buy a guitar cord, they get you this little plastic thing that's, no bigger than a kite string.
Yeah.
With a little tiny plastic end, and they just break, they rattle, they're only 6 feet long. And and rattle is, that's the little trick that you're starting to talk about, where I floated one end, the guitar end, and it seemed to reduce the rattle, the noise, where when the cable gets kicked around. The cheap cables make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
These cables didn't make much noise. No cable's perfect, but
So you had little tricks of the trade that those guys appreciated to make things sound better, and that's why they decided they need Joe Barnes here to kind of tweak things and make it sound good, because we need all the help we can get, and you were that guy.
And I figured that I just dodged the draft. That the draft ended.
Yeah.
That I got a letter report, and I went, got physical and everything. They told us, y'all stick around till we decide what to do. And next month, next end of the draft. And so I was kind of trying to figure out what to do.
Is there any one thing that you would say was the most memorable time for you working with Lynyrd Skynyrd? Anything in particular that you can remember that was like?
I got 1,000.
You got 1,000. Any one that stands out?
Opening for the Who.
Yeah.
Coming from where we were, traveling around the South, and really right before we left, I think we did a show at the big Omni Coliseum thing.
Yeah.
Where we were supposed to open for Focus, but they didn't show up. We were there, and there were some people there, and they said, you won't get paid unless you play. So we turned around, faced back, and went through the house PA and played.
Oh, yeah.
And Focus never showed up. And then we flew out to California to the Cow Palace. When we got there, people were circling around, waiting to get in. It was wild.
And so when you saw that, you realized, wow, these guys are pretty big here, huh?
No, come on now. It was Who. It was Who.
Right, but Lynyrd Skynyrd was.
That was 1974. Now, it was 1964. Well, who is the Who? No, this is 1973 actually.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the Who, it's like Beatles, Stones, Who, and the Heart.
Oh yeah. Right.
And then everybody else, then there's Beck.
Now, were you were out of Muscle Shoals, weren't you, when they did some recording? Didn't you go out there some?
I was there with Ed King for a couple weeks, and it's just, it's really a blur. We were coming back from somewhere, and we stopped there for a couple of days, and he overdosed on some tracks.
Oh, okay.
It was real.
Because I had heard that you were there. A couple guys from Muscle Shoals that I've been talking to, they remembered you and stuff like that.
Really?
So, yeah. So, because we're getting ready to make a trip out to Muscle Shoals, and we're gonna go out there and talk to some people that were there when Skynyrd were recording.
I've got a T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Muscle Shoals T-shirt.
Cool.
It's famous there. Lots of people have it.
So touring around with Skynyrd, you were in hotels with them and stuff like that, and you were on the road in the truck. I mean, it's not like you were on some like roadie bus. You were with the band. You were with those guys. Ate, drank, sleep with them, and
Yes, my little solo too. Okay, she's gone.
Yeah. So anyway,
You can edit that out.
what? Now that we're here out at Whitey's, and we're kind of celebrating Gary Rossington, a little bit about Gary Rossington. What's your thoughts on the passing of Gary Rossington? What you got to say about Gary?
Well, he's about 4 or 5 months older than me. Okay. Another old friend of mine also passed away at Christmas time. I'm facing my own mortality.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah. So,
I know when you came out to the Polk Theater, that's what's really weird is when you were at the Polk Theater, we were celebrating a friend of mine who'd had a heart attack, and then it wasn't long after that you'd had a heart problem, and
I'd been on a downward slide with having high blood pressure. That's another issue. Anyway,
Right.
I ended up going in. Finally got doctor's attention. Got the heart doctor to take a look, and he listened some. Had me go in for tests the next day for a stress test, and then the next morning he called me himself. Said, "Mr. Barnes, glad you're alive."
right. So
Then he sent me in for an angioplasty. Well, they couldn't do the angioplasty, and they wouldn't let me move. They said, "No, you stay right here. We're moving you to the big hospital for bypass surgery. Now it's quadruple bypass."
wow. So you're all squared away now. You feeling good?
I am,
Great.
and I'm getting my strength back. It's like teleworking, being sedentary, and having the high blood pressure is like slowly weakening, and I'm gaining strength now, feeling a lot.
So you were working with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and then finally you left from Lynyrd Skynyrd, and you started doing some financing things. Isn't that what? Or you were an accountant or something?
Yeah, I was very white bread growing up, and
And you're still working, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, when I started for Skynyrd, like I said, I almost got drafted. I dropped out of school. I finished my first 2 years of college. Okay? After I got thrown off the plane, I went back and finished school. I got a degree in finance, and a few years later, I went back and got another degree in accounting, and took CPA exam.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you weren't on the plane when it crashed, huh? Do you ever think about that?
Yes.
Yeah, because you quite possibly and probably would have been, and so.
I could be dead now.
Yeah, the good Lord pulled you off of there, just like you should have been doing what you were doing instead of being on that plane. So that's good. Well, we appreciate you, Joe Barnes. You know, a lot of people have been wanting to talk to you. You know, been wanting to hear from Joe Barnes, and Craig has been trying to, you know, reach out to you, and we finally got you. And thanks for being on the podcast with us. And man, what a great surprise to run into Joe Barnes down here at Whitey's Fish Camp. And this is Lynyrd Skynyrd royalty right here. You know, one of the first roadies for Lynyrd Skynyrd.
You're flattering. No.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Griff.
Right there.
Big Lou right here.
How can you beat it?
Yeah. Don't get no better.
Don't get any better.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep token until then.